as a homeschooling mom of an only child, I really understand how difficult it can be to get your child, especially your younger child, to work independently. So in today's video, I'm sharing with you how I have our independent work set up, our schedule, and things that work for us as far as facilitating an environment where my daughter feels comfortable to work independently. One of the challenges that I have experienced personally, but that I hear from a lot of other moms who are homeschooling an only child, is that fostering independence can be a really big struggle. And that's typically because they're an only child and they are so used to having mom readily available to them because mom typically is not distracted with other children. Doesn't mean mom's not distracted with other things like dinner and laundry and all of those things. But there just is a little bit of a difference when you're trying to help foster some independence in an only child. And so I realize that this could be an area that maybe I can offer a little bit of encouragement and a little bit of help. The main thing I want to express to you is that, one, you're not alone. Right? I think everybody has gone through the challenge of trying to get your child to work independently, but also communication is key. Okay? That is one big thing with my daughter and I is I want effective communication and really involving her in our curriculum choices, in our scheduling, in things that we agree to do and things we decide not to do, because it is just me and her. And I want her to feel and know that we are on the same team, right? And while I'm still the parent and she is still the child, we are working together towards the common goal of educating and loving learning and all the things. So one thing that I did this year, actually I started last year with actually putting a schedule together for my daughter so she could visually see it. I found that was the best way to handle it for her. She needed to visually see what was expected of her. Now, this is strictly just our school schedule. As far as her daily chores and things, she prefers those on our Skylight calendar. And I included her in the entire process of making the schedule. She picked the colors, she picked the cute icons, she picked what days she thought what would work best with a little guidance. And I just really involved her in all of the things. And I am always open to her saying, Mom, I really think Tuesday stuff is not working. Can I please do Tuesday stuff on Wednesday instead? And if I feel like that is a good adjustment, we then can change that. So our schedule gets hung on a binder clip in our classroom. So she knows the things that are to be done that day. I have the things that we do together at the top and the things we do the things she does independently listed on the bottom and by each day, because it does change. It's a little bit of a rotating schedule. And I find that actually helps a lot also. So it's not the same thing every single day. She gets to kind of change it up a little bit. And also, she has a few days here where she gets to make some choices of whether she wants to do one thing or another. So briefly, I will just share with you what her schedule is for independent work. If you want to see any of the curriculums or books or anything like that, go to last week's video and I will have it linked down for you as well. And I show you all of the physical items that we're using. So Monday, actually every day of the week, so Monday through Friday, Bible is required and 30 minutes of reading is required. So those are done every day. And then Monday and Friday are handwriting and night zookeeper. So those are things she does independently. Now, specifically, night zookeeper is allowed when I am busy. So typically Monday mornings, I have things on the computer that I am required to do for a couple of hours. And so that's the time she does her independent work. Once she has completed that, then she can go on to doing Night Zookeeper if she wants to. Sometimes she doesn't want to play Night Zookeeper, so then she can Lego or Play-Doh or whatever at that point. So that's how that goes. And then Tuesday and Thursday are the same. So she does spelling practice or her Be the Vet journal. So she can choose whichever one of those that she wants to do. And then Wednesday is actually our co-op day. So that day is when she chooses to do the Vet Academy. She can do a task on the Vet Academy book. So again, that kind of changes it up for her. So she's not doing the same thing every day. And it gives her some choices even within that day. So she really feels like she's making those on her own. She can do them independently. And I know that she is fully capable of doing handwriting on her own. That's another thing is with independent work, really making sure that the things that you're choosing for them to do independently, you know they are going to feel confident in those things. Now, I'm not saying that there can't be a little bit of a challenge, just not so much of a challenge that they're unable to complete it on their own, right? Because the whole point is for them to be able to work independently. So if that means they need to go down a level and instead of completing 1 page a day, they complete 2 or 3 pages, I personally would prefer that, as long as it's actually adding value to their education and it's not just busy work. And spelling, I feel like, is one of those that you kind of can always have a little bit of extra spelling practice. At least for us, spelling and handwriting, those are 2 things we kind of can always include those at this point in my daughter's education. So that is another little tip, is make sure that you're choosing curriculums and things that they actually can complete on their own. And lastly, my little bit of extra encouragement to you is just to keep going, keep doing it, keep offering for them to do it alone, keep encouraging them that they can do it, they are capable. Allow them to go through a little bit of the struggle of mom being unavailable. Because the reality is there's going to come a time when you are actually unavailable and they're going to have to figure it out on their own. And of course, I leave the option open, like if you just cannot figure it out, skip it and go to the next thing. And then when I'm available, we can handle it and we can address it. Typically in that situation, what I will do, I will read through the instructions or I'll go through a little explanation. I will clarify so that she understands, and then she takes that and goes and does that on her own, right? So as long as there is understanding there, maybe we work through one problem or we kind of do some of the initial practice or whatever it is that we need to do. Once it's been solidified and I know that she understands, then she takes that, and because that is independent work, you need to take that back, in the dining room or in the classroom or wherever and finish your independent work. And I really, really push that this needs to be finished independently. I'm happy to help you when you need help, but then it's on you to get it completed. So those are kind of my tips. That is how I make independent work for us. Of course, if you guys have questions, let me know down in the comments, but that's it for today's video. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will talk to you soon.